guys. Thank you, David. As I'm sure you guys all aware, David is the leader of this amazing organization, so it's quite normal for him to speak. I get quite used to emceeing, so we tend to talk over each other. So I'm sorry, guys. I hope everybody's have had a lovely, lovely day. And you guys are here to really connect and communicate and learn from each other. It always takes a little while to get people to jump on in. And so as you guys are jumping on in, let's do a very quick intro in the chat. I'd love to hear where you guys are located today. Where are you joining us from? Dandenong Ranges, Melbourne, Vanilla, Sydney, Adelaide. Look at this. We've got a completely Singapore. Now we've gone global. We have a global audience. So for those who are speaking and pitching tonight, you guys are automatically international pitchers and speakers. So well done, you guys. Matt's from Adelaide. Fabulous. Seeing lots more people jumping on in. Let's give them another maybe minute or so. And then I will intro myself and get us all moving. In the meantime, is everybody feeling good? Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Awesome. For those that are pitching tonight, I hope that you guys are feeling pumped and ready and really clear-minded. I'm guessing that for most of you, if you are pitching, parts of you are currently heart beating fast and there's a little bit of excitement, as we like to call it. Always tell yourself that you are excited rather than nervous. It's a good little tip. And breathe a little bit deeper. So I'd like to welcome you guys all today. Before I go to the introductions, I'd really like to do an acknowledgement of country, acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land I am standing on here today. I'm currently in the city of Yarra, so that is the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people. I pay respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people of today. Now, for those I have not met before, you might be wondering who this random Anna is, who is here emceeing this event and bringing you guys all together. Now, I really am come from a space of marketing, a marketing maven. I really sit at the nexus of education and technology. I strive to aid small businesses in their mission of visibility and progress. I'm an entrepreneur, an educator, and an eventologist, the CEO and founder of Flint and Eventologist Training. And in 2019, I was nominated for the Telstra Business Award, which I did not win, but it's a really good nomination. I really love working with visionary leaders and help them make a difference one successful event at a time. Generally, I'm a fairly high energy individual. And if you were to ask my friends my strengths, they would tell you that I've got really positive energy that's infectious, as I'm sure you can tell. And I am always on the move, getting things done. Now, I'd like to begin tonight by really stating the primary mission of Silicon Beach Group. It really is to empower founders. As such, our vision is to create an environment where founders can feel supported, educated, and empowered to fulfill their startup vision and values. And we're in particular excited about founders, startups, and ideas that support the UN Nation Sustainability Goals. We are all about impact. And tonight is all about providing a platform for founders and startup owners to feel supported, comfortable, and open and connected. Now, for a little bit of housekeeping to keep us all in line, the exits are, no, they are not. Today, I'd like you to please note that we are recording the pitch night. Please make sure you do mute your audio so that there are no extra noises. We've all been in a session where there's random conversations going on, so please manage your own mute button. We do encourage you to use the chat to communicate to each other, provide encouragement and feedback to the pictures in the chat. And finally, smile, because we are going to take a quick photo. Now, for those that aren't currently on camera, I would encourage you to turn your camera on, even if it is just for the next minute or so. It does look much nicer when we've got everybody's happy faces rather than random black boxes with people's names. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the joining of your faces to our faces. So I am going to close my chat box here so that we can take a photo, and somebody else can also take a photo. So on the count of three, I'd like you guys to put on your best smile and we're going to take a photo. Ready? 1, 2. Just in case that wasn't done by somebody else, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, and I will do it. Yay. All right, amazing. Thank you guys so much. That's going to be up on the social, so please do look out for the photo, and please make sure that you give it some support, give it a like, give it a share, give it a comment. We can all help to really push ourselves out into the social media landscape. Now, I know you guys are all excited about the judges and the prizes that are up for grabs tonight. But before I introduce the judges, who are all awesome and they are all here and they've got some amazing prizes, I'd really like to take a quick moment to acknowledge our community sponsors and partners, because without them, none of this would be possible. And they really do support the Silicon Beach community. So our community affiliate members help us make the organization run by supporting all the activities we do for our community. So first, I'd like to thank Buzzy. Buzzy's AI-powered no-code platform turns your idea into high-quality Figma design and a working full-stack web mobile app in minutes. So if you're looking to turn your digital idea into reality, Buzzy is your go-to. We'd also like to thank Empira, the simple and effective planning management software that creates real-world results. They are our sponsors for this evening, and also our community members. Flint, that's us. Legally Yours, CFO Works, Helsley Lawyers, Think Innovation, and Be Mighty, as well as our academic partners. Monash University Faculty of Information Technology, RMIT Graduate School of Business and Law, as well as Swinburne University. And some great partners as Freshworks, Stripe, Airwallex, Canva, Query Legal, James Spurway, Grant Help, Founder Suite, Linking and Integrating. They are all great platforms and support for you guys, for the startup community, in order to be able to help you brave this big digital world that we live in. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our judges for this evening. Now, please do give them some love and support in the chat, because they are dedicating their time in order to judge, but really to help and support each of you. So first, I'd like to thank James Spurway. James is a serial entrepreneur, a mentor, and an advisor. James can probably share his details in the chat with you guys rather than me reading them out. But really, for James, after starting 10 of his own businesses over a 20-year period, he has spent the past 12 years investing in a portfolio of startups that now numbers at 44. And he's currently raising capital for his first venture fund. So he's a great person to have in your corner. He has been a mentor and a judge for several years at the Startup Accelerator programs and demo days run by 500 Global Mass Challenge and Criteria Impact, and loves being part of the team at Silicon Beach. James is very, very supportive. So please, if you would like support, do reach out to him. An Australian James has lived the past 33 years outside of Australia, in Vietnam, Hong Kong, Germany, Switzerland, the UK, the USA, and for the last 12 years in Singapore. He really is a global citizen. Now, James has a really cool prize for one of the winners tonight. So James is giving away a bundle of services called our Investor Ready Check Pack, which includes pitch deck checks and feedback, financial model check and feedback, cap value calculation check and feedback, and also data room. So all of your documents, check and feedback. The total value, not including his IP, which is valued way more than what this prize pack is valued at, comes to around $600 USD. Thank you, James. Let's give James a hand. Yay. And as you can see, James's details are there for you guys. Next, I think you all know this guy. This guy is David Hauser. He is the founder of Think Innovation. He will also share his details in the chat, but David joined Silicon Beach after a successful 10-year career in the machine tool industry, where he led interdisciplinary teams to solve complex manufacturing problems for customers like Mercedes, Bosch, Airbus, Samsung, and many more. He is the founder of Think Innovation, an agency for design thinking, human-centered design and innovation strategies. Think Innovation consults and coaches customers from startups, SMEs to universities like Monash University and RMIT on creating innovative customer experiences. David has a beautiful way of being able to look at your systems and processes and provide some really great strategies in order for you to be able to do what you do even better. Now, his prize for tonight is a 45-minute coaching session and mentoring session and a free spot at the Pitch Deck Review Masterclass. Who's ever tried to put together a pitch deck? Yes. If you've ever tried to do it, you know that it can be quite challenging. So having some great feedback and having a masterclass on how to do it can be highly, highly beneficial, because these documents talk about us before we even get a chance to talk about us. And he also is giving away an Ideas Spies prize, which is a publication on Ideas Spies. It is Australia's #1 ideas sharing platform. So let's give David a big woo. Yay. Thank you, David. Yay. And last but not least, our third judge is Nina Leong. She is a talent scout at Antler. For those that have not heard of Antler, Antler is a venture capital company that helps businesses grow from day zero. So Nina is a scout at Antler Australia, a global day zero investor that backs exceptional founders. In her role, Nina sources founders to build their business with Antler and supports them throughout their entrepreneurial journey. Prior to Antler, Nina led the operational expansion of Deliveroo across Australia. She also specializes in M&A transactions at PwC, supporting clients through their transition. Her experience, teamed with her skill set in data analytics and studies in psychology, allows her to strategically identify the best founders and support them through the success of their journey with Antler. Tonight, Nina is giving away 30 minutes of startup coaching with Antler. It's also an awesome prize. So please, let's give Nina a hand. Woo! Yeah. It's good to get moving. Otherwise, you guys get a bit stagnant. So thank you, guys. Thank you, judges. And thank you for all of your incredible, incredible prizes. So our agenda for tonight's proceedings. Now on the format of pitching and the stars of tonight, our pitches. Tonight, each pitcher will have 90 seconds to pitch. There will be a timer in the top right-hand corner. Please stick to time. Moment you start talking, we're going to start the timer. When you've hit the 90-second mark, you need to wind up your pitch, and you will get the chance to add anything else in the feedback time after your pitch. After each pitch, our judges will have 5 minutes to ask questions and provide feedback to our pitches. Again, we'll be doing housekeeping. We'll be doing timing. So there'll be a timer for each of the judges as well. And we will try and make sure that each pitcher gets feedback from each judge. However, we will see how we go with time. After all the registered pitches have concluded, and only if we have time, we may open the floor to some impromptu pitches. So please do notify us, notify myself, or you can notify Alexander of your name and business by a direct message in the chat. Great. So, as I said, impromptu pitches only if we have time. And that brings us to the part where we are going to start to pitch. But before we get there, I'm just going to throw it over to David. David, did you want to talk a bit more about a call out for any supporters, sponsors, community members, etc.?
Yes, thank you very much for that. And you covered it perfectly already. Just another shout out to Empira and Buzzy, our sponsors. Please check them out. Both are great tools. Empira is helping you from A to Z on planning and executing on your plan throughout your entrepreneurial journey. And it's a great tool to actually showcase to investors that you can actually lead a startup to success and execute on your plans. And Buzzy, some of you might have heard of AI by now. It's a little bit in the news over the last 2 or 3 months. Buzzy is a great AI tool that allows anyone who does have an idea to basically just explain your idea of a web app or a mobile app to Buzzy. Buzzy will create the Figma files for you. You then have to do a little bit of manual work, but you press another button and you have a working MVP spit out by Buzzy. So it's amazing. AI is going to do crazy shit. Yes, and ourselves, we have another pitch night, of course, coming up in 1 month. In between, we will have a pitch deck masterclass where we help you design your pitch deck, and then we will have the next pitch deck review with probably James and some other active investors to actually go through a handful of pitch decks of founders that are ready to send that out to investors. So we want to help you to actually get the attention of the investors. So please stay tuned and secure your spot early for our next pitch deck masterclass and our pitch deck design workshops. That's it from me.
Great. Thank you, David. And thank you, Nina, for sharing your details with us. So again, if you want to connect with Nina, please do so on LinkedIn. She is super helpful and super awesome. So now is the time that you guys are all really here for. It is the time to pitch. So I'm just going to do a bit of a, I don't know if you can hear the drum roll, but our very first pitcher is Mohamad Haider from Icause. Mohamad, whenever you are ready, please unmute yourself and share.
Hi, everyone. I'm just gonna can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Can I start?
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, David. My name is Mohamad. My startup is about giving and saving. You must be wondering how two things can correlate to each other, but it's about crowdfunding. If you're passionate about supporting a charitable cause, but find it hard to donate because high utility costs and cost of living, there's a solution which we have provided through Icause, where you don't have to take a cent out of your pocket to help raise money for anyone. I introduced Icause as a new crowdfunding innovation where Switch and Donate, which is a feature which help people to raise money without taking their own money out. Imagine a platform which You can give back to your community, your sports club, your charity of your own choice, and it doesn't cost anything on your own pocket, but it actually helps people who needs the most. We use the power of utility switches, such as your gas, electricity, broadband, health insurance, and it is generated through cheap bills, which provides the engine. You might be wondering how much a simple switch can achieve. The answer can be very astonishing. Just to give you example, by switching your gas and electricity, you can donate $87. That's a very small start. On a higher level, this amount can be up to $500 and more. Together, we can leverage a $2 billion utility switch industry. As we want to expand Icause, we not only accept switch and donation, but we accept the conventional payments as well, such as Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and so on.
Yay, Mohamad, we're out of time. I'm sorry. Well done. We're going to have to keep moving. Let's give him a big hand. Mohamad is doing amazing things in the world. It's nice to hear you pitch again. Now, I'm going to start our 5-minute timer. Who of the judges wants to ask questions, give feedback first? Nina, David,
David,
James?
you jump. No, David can go first. I'll go after.
Mohamad, love it that you're so persistent. That is now the third time in a row that you're pitching, and each and every time your pitch gets better. Love it. Thank you so much. I think you covered most of the points at the beginning. I was wondering, okay, are you going to mention what causes can be funded? You covered that, but probably we missed it because it was over time. What is your ask?
Look, my ask is 500,000. That's the initial ask because it's all been bootstrapped. So the ask is $500,000.
And what are you going to do with those $500,000?
I have not used. I want to use that for marketing. I want to use that for expansion. I want to build the platform and engage AI as well in the whole journey of crowdfunding. So I've already mapped that out. So technology and marketing is the most important thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how long will those 500K last you?
Look, it's the platform. It's self-generate because I think once that ask of 500,000 is done, the platform will start generating the revenue by itself. It started to pick up. We've got some successful campaigns now. So I think if I get it, I can expand it quicker. If I don't get it, then the way I'm building the traction now, I will keep going that way, but it will take me much longer.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nina, James?
James?
I can go.
All right, go Nina.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the pitch, Mohamad. Can you talk me through who are your initial customers?
So our customers can be anything from a small, tiny sports club to a community organization to a charity organization to an individual. Anyone can raise through our platform. So it's not just any selective audience. Anyone who wish to raise money can use Icause.
Yeah. And will you be targeting a specific segment of customers to begin with, or what's your strategy there?
So look, we've got some charities on board, but we want to engage people with stories, people who have actually have living stories. For example, a child suffering from cancer or an individual who's just been into a road accident or a work accident where he is unable to raise money, a single mom who's finding it hard to raise money for her 5 kids. Anyone who have a story, we would love to have their story on our platform, because the platform, people can put their stories and videos. So it can be engaging and people can donate based on empathy. And I think the biggest point which we have got on Icause is people who cannot donate by conventional payment method, they can just use our switch and donate where they save as well as they help someone.
Yep. Okay, cool. Makes sense. James, over to you.
I think we may be out of time. Anna, how are we going on the 5 minutes?
Got a minute.
Mohammed, great to see you back again. I'm going to ask a different question. Does the platform allow you to take those campaigns and automatically generate socials for that, social feeds, social media posts? I mean, otherwise, how do I, as a non-platform user, get to know about it?
Really good question, James. So when we built the platform, we've also created a dashboard for individual who's putting a campaign, so they can connect their social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all together, and do one post, and it can go through, engage the entire community. They can even post on groups. We've also built on platform a marketing and engagement tool where they can send email and SMS to engage their users. We have built the app where the app can take access of the contacts, and you can send SMS or email to friends and family to raise money.
That sounds like the way to go. Anna must be going.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you so much, Mohammed. Great pitch, great questions. All right, we are up to our second picture. Our second picture is Denham D'Silva, and Denham is from Deep Liquid. Denham, please unmute yourself and share with us your pitch.
Hi guys, I'm unmuted, I believe. Sorry, let me just. Where's the little clock? Because I'm winging it a little bit. There, is it on the top? Ah, there, see it.
Hang on,
Okay,
let me just make it
so
1.5 minutes for
okay.
you.
Ah, thank you. Okay, so my name is Denham D'Silva. I'm co-founder of Deep Liquid. Deep Liquid provides simple but powerful AI to the beverage industry. So AI is in the news a fair bit. And so everybody sort of understands AI is coming, but I think there's a real lack of understanding on how to apply it to your business. Particularly, this is definitely such in the beverage industry. So my background is a little bit varied. I'm also founder of Barossa Valley Brewing. So I've got a craft brewery in the Barossa. And I was actually quite terrified. I was a big AI geek for the last 4 or 5 years, but really quite terrified about what it meant to small producers. Because in my understanding of AI, you needed a couple of things. You needed a lot of data. And then you also needed a lot of funding. Now, we didn't have either really. So the big companies, I felt like this was a tool to squash us. But I was really lucky. I connected with a co-founder who's the head of the Australian Institute of Machine Learning. And we've created a platform where you can scan our beers, review those beers. It feeds a neural network and gives us automated inputs to adjust recipes. We've also got a bar where we can take those inputs and actually create products for you on demand. We're testing this. It's got out. This is applicable across other beverages. So we're about to sign a deal with the second largest convenience store chain in South Australia to launch an iced tea range and an isotonic range. So you can personalize this and go to an AI bar and get your own. So Anna's isotonic, personalized for you. A major winery's touched base with us. South by Southwest has got in touch with us. So all these opportunities are opening up very quickly in this space.
Yay, Denham. Woo! Great job. Well done. All right, over to our judges. Who would like to go first?
I'll jump in. Hey, Denham. Yeah, look,
Hi.
lovely idea. Curious to know how you monetize it. How do you make money? What's your business model?
It's a SaaS product. So, for example, the winery, and we haven't launched this, but this is sort of getting out, and I don't even know how. But the winery touched base with us, and basically what we're looking at doing is a campaign for them where we basically build a program where they collect data, so people scan and review. And what this does is, the important thing with AI is that we build personalization into the model, right? Otherwise, AI basically takes a lot of data and gives us the average, right? And that is the antithesis of what beverage companies want to do. They want to make their customer feel special. So what we can do is we can launch a campaign where, you know, every time somebody scans and we collect data, we charge them on that. The other way we can do this is with breweries. We can add this onto other packages like software packages for, you know, Zero, MYOB, and so on and so forth. So we can collect that customer data and then feed that into all planning programs as well. So basically, it's a SaaS product.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
Nina?
Yep. Thanks, Denham. That was really, really great. My question is around the customers entering their data. Do you have a strategy as to how to encourage that type of behavior? Just because it's not necessarily something that would come naturally to a customer to scan a QR code at the back of their beverage. So is that something that your company would face doing, or is that sort of like up to the beverage company?
No, so yeah, it is up to the beverage company, but we are creating a program or campaign where it's seamless. So you can do this through the app. So what we do, so again, I'm very lucky with Barossa Valley Brewing. You know, I've got a guinea pig, and what we can do there, and what we have been doing with some success, is basically rewarding people with points that they can then go redeem and other at the venues. And it's actually proved a much more effective way to generate sales than actually, it's a much cheaper way than having a salesperson run around. So there's two things that happen. One, we pay in beer to encourage sales, because what happens is if you get a point, you receive a beer from a venue, that venue gets that beer back when they order again from us, right? So we're sending customers in there to generate those sales. The other thing that we find is once customers review, they can become sticky, because then they feel a real loyalty. Because we can, for the first time, hand on heart, say we're listening to everyone, and everybody's feedback is being used to create the best product possible, right? Well, that's what I talk about, putting sort of being able to scale personalization. We're listening to everyone.
Yep, that makes sense. Awesome. Just a small bit of feedback as well. I really love the fact that you are you experience this problem yourself, and so therefore you're trying to find a solution to the problem. It's very common that founders fall in love with their solution first without fully understanding the problem. So there's a really, really great advantage that you have there. I'll move on to David.
Thank you, Nina, and thank you, Denham, for coming back. Another repeat picture. Awesome. I still, for me, the whole model sounds still quite complex. Can you please talk me about through the user or the customer experience from that supermarket or convenience chain store? What are they getting out of it?
Okay, so the convenience store chain. So they're generally attached to petrol stations. They have 1 minute 56 seconds on average. That's how much time is spent, the consumer spends there. So the more we know about the consumer, the better. So what happens is, and we don't need, so you don't just have to review beers, right? So with South by Southwest, we did a launch with our AI bar where people are eating chocolates, right? And so there was Rocky Road, peanut butter, Reese's cups, coffee coated chocolate beans, milk duds. And by eating those chocolates at this event, they rated those chocolates, and then we understood their flavor pattern, and we were able to create a dessert stout based on their preference. And I got so, like, people's eyes were popping out of their head. So many comments like, I don't drink beer, really don't like stouts, but I like this. And I was able to say, yes, that's because you've only drunk a stout made for 10 million people. You've never drunk on a stout, right? Now, where that applies to the next convenience, when they've got 2 minutes, they can be reviewing lots of stuff, right? And because they are being able to personalize, so you don't have to just drink the isotonic or the iced tea that is packaged for you. There's like those slushy machines. There's an AI version of that. So if you've reviewed products, you can go get your own personalized beverage, right? So again, it's for you. And what that does is it makes the customer sticky, right? You're collecting data. And then what Xconvenience can then do, as soon as you walk in the store, go, awesome, you're in for this. But you know what? those donuts, that's on sale. Well, you like this and this and this. If you know what people like, the applications, right, for targeting and providing services for them is increased. Does that make sense?
To about 73%, I would say.
I was going for 75, Lago.
We're gonna have to move on, but please do maybe continue that chat in the chat if you would like to. Otherwise, we are going to run out of time. But thank you so much, Denham. What an absolutely great idea with so many opportunities for growth and shifting that landscape. All right, so next we have Tony Course from a Farmers Hub. Tony, please unmute yourself. Get ready. We'll start the timer when you start talking.
I think I'm unmuted. Is that working?
You are.
Okay.
Welcome.
Great. Central distribution means transporting fresh fruit and vegetables hundreds of kilometres, even when it's consumed locally, which is harmful to the environment and our health. It's also costly, with farmers receiving as little as 19% of retail prices, not 40+%. Central distribution in outer suburbs close to food production areas just doesn't make sense. We targeted the owner of 4 petrol stations in the Yarra Valley. His comments were, many would buy. The real work is being able to deliver quality products to our stores. My company, Farmers Hub, is developing a web platform to distribute quality, fresh, local produce. The platform means petrol stations replace the lost fuel income by allocating shelf space to local farmers. The platform makes it easy by managing the logistics for the farmers, consumers, and the store. Our clients, who are the petrol stations, compete in the growing fresh food market. It's a $293 billion global market. The hubs are similar to supermarkets and fruit shops, but only stocks products picked today from local farmers with no food miles. We're ready to trial. The product's defined. Our development team are experts in the field, and we're looking for $675,000 to fund the first stage of the trial.
Oh, great job, Tony, and totally on time. Well done. I'm going to give you a hand for that. Really well done. I'm going to hand it over to Nina first. Nina, have you got questions for Tony?
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. That was a really great pitch. I loved the storytelling that you were able to tell everyone here. I'd love to know, what's your background? Because this is a pretty niche industry. So I'd love to know sort of like why are you the person to solve this problem?
I've got a lot of I've got background in startup and a lot in retail, but it's an interesting journey. We started off doing work with NFC technology, which is PayWave, and thought, oh, there's a great opportunity to have remote farm gates and connect people with that. We've spent a year basically talking to farmers, talking to convenience stores experts, and saying, hey, there's a lot better ways to put these hubs on major highways, which means people can get access to fresh produce when they're driving around, which they can't currently. And it came about probably, I live on the outskirts of the Yarra Valley, used to go up there all the time and buy fresh produce, and it's really hard these days. And
yeah. Okay, cool. Makes sense. I'll move on to the next judge.
James?
Okay, yeah. G'day, Tony. Yeah, I agree. Great pitch. I'm going to sort of throw a bit of a cynical one at you, because just as a devil's advocate, I love the idea of local produce being sold locally and fresh. But as a traveller who drives a lot, I got to say, if I go into a service station, I'm not looking for something fresh to pick up. I'm looking for, sadly, something that's going to be like junk food. It's going to be fizzy drinks and probably something that I shouldn't be eating. But you see what I'm saying?
That's a really great point. And I'll give you an example. Our first pilot site, we went and saw and I quoted him, but he said, "We've sold fresh produce. Our problem is it always sells really well, where people love it. But the problem is," and he gave an example, last week a farmer came to me with organic kiwi fruit, and he said, I said, okay, I'll stock it in the store. I know it'll sell, but I want it on the Friday because weekends are busy. He dropped it on the Monday. It was too late. And he's got hundreds of stories like that. So it actually sells, but we recognise we've got to change people's buying habits. And the thing you've got to ask is, if there was the ability to buy fresh and it was available when you're driving past and it was promoted as you're driving past, would you do that because it's going to taste better and there's no food miles? And the difference, everyone has stories of, oh, I bought this or I went to this U-Pick place, how much better was the X product? That's what's going to happen the whole time. So and for that reason, we're placing them on, focusing on outer suburbs, which have 20 to 30,000 people driving past a day. So we don't only need a very few of those to actually change their habits to make really profitable hubs. So
that makes a lot more sense than being on, say, a highway in between point A and point B. So what you're just saying now makes it make more sense to me, because you're just buying locally and then taking it home. Anyway, I'll let David jump in.
Thank you. Tony, thank you for pitching. If I would still be commuting by car, you would have me as a customer. I would not have to relearn it. It is a quite common model. In Europe, I'm missing it here in Victoria for such a long time. And I was very, very pleased. I think it was 5 years ago. And last I traveled rural Western Australia, that they have those farmer shed stores somewhere along the roads there already, where all the farmers are delivering their produce. So I'm all for it. Yeah, what are you going to do with the 675,000? What is it allocated for, and how much will it last you?
It'll last us to get to revenue. It's not the full product, but it's a minimum viable product. What it's being used for, we've got to develop 4 individual aspects: a consumer side, a farmer side, a hub side, and a logistics side to manage the deliveries. But for the pilots only, we have to build the logistics and actually employ people and do the deliveries until we get it right, and then we'll hand it over to a logistics company or the service stations themselves. But we just, so that's what the use is for.
Let me chase down my latest Uber driver. I had a great conversation. He is actually having a business that is picking up fresh produce from farmers to deliver it to hospital kitchens and other customers.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool.
Amazing.
I will get it sorted.
Thank you so much, and great feedback and a really great pitch there. Tony, always appreciate keeping to time. Now, our next pitcher is Victoria Wall, and she is pitching her startup called Babyfitter. Yay, Victoria, all yours.
Hello, thank you. I'm ready to go. Thank you. More than 300,000 births happened in Australia last year, but sadly, after giving birth, it's incredibly difficult to find somewhere to train, somewhere to exercise, somewhere that's good for the mind, good for the soul, good for the body. And it's even harder now that over 89 gym creches have closed across Australia, including at Good Life, Fitness First, and they continue to close. Mental health after giving birth often is not what it is previously. 1 in 5 women are affected by postnatal depression, 70% have lower self-esteem, and 90% feel really lonely and isolated. Our solution is Babyfitter, which is getting you fit while we babysit. We're a pre- and postnatal certified personal trainers and physios, and we're paired with babysitters. So we give parents the opportunity to train and focus on their own health and well-being in a safe, fun, and loving environment. Our babysitters are repeatedly attending the same session, so they build the relationships with the children just as well as the personal trainers build the relationships with the clients. So the clients and the children are really safe and enjoying their environment. Over summer and spring, we train in local parks. So we come to you, we train mothers groups. We also do a lot of open group training. So women and men, most of our clients at the moment are women, can come along and meet people that they haven't met in their area before. We're looking short term for $100,000 just to continue expanding. We'd like to expand into new areas. And then eventually long term, we're looking to kind of open up gyms that include outdoor areas as well. Sorry, I realized that was the end. I had to skip a little bit, but all good.
Thank you. That was fabulous. I'm going to hand it back over to our judges for feedback. We might start with David this time.
Thank you very much. What a genius idea. Not that I'm a target audience, but what a genius idea. So everybody understand. You have a fitness coach and you have a group of babysitters or one babysitter, depending on how many clients are coming into the park. So is that the model?
Yes. So so legally we can look after around 4 to 5 children per session. So our clients they bring one, sometimes they bring 1 or 2, and then they pay a little bit more if they bring an extra child. But yeah, so the groups are kept small. There's 1 personal trainer, 1 babysitter. And it's about 4 to 5 parents and 4 to 5 children. The children are kind of in eyesight the whole time, but far enough away that's kind of they're in their own world and they can get distracted by the birds and the playground and everything else, but they're still safe and kind of can be seen by their parents.
Cool. How do you deal with bad weather?
With what? Sorry?
How do you deal with bad weather? Those are rain.
Oh yes, we move into all of our locations. It took a while to get to this, but all of our locations have halls next to them. So they're generally scout halls, which are really large spaces. We tried out small spaces like little gyms, but they're just too small. And with the kids in there, it's like hazard, OH&S everywhere. So our babysitters have toys, a picnic rug, and a whole setup for the kids. So whether it's outside or inside, that is looked after, and our personal trainer has the whole setup for the adults as well. But yeah, the larger the space inside, the better.
Cool. I have many more questions. You have paying customers already?
Yeah, so we've been running for about 2 years. And yeah, it started, I've got 2 older sisters who both have kids, and that was how the idea started. One went through really bad postnatal depression and it was incredibly difficult to see, and I don't have kids myself, but that was how it began. And now we've got around 60 to 70 clients in the southeast of Melbourne, but we're coming into like the busiest time of year now. So it's kind of picking up again over the next couple of months, which is good.
It is good. I hand over. It is amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victoria. That was a really great pitch. I have 2 questions. So the first one is, can you talk me through your revenue model and how much you're charging your clients? And then number 2, can you talk me also through your client activity, and if they're sort of like sticky clients, are you seeing them returning a lot to the services that you're providing? And also about your customer acquisition strategy as well.
Yeah, so probably returning, I'll start with returning clients. A lot of our clients have been with us. Some have been with us since the start. The hardest thing we do come up against is clients going back to work. So they take a certain amount of time off work that eventually long term, that's why I'd love to get to the point where I can open a gym where we can do early morning and late night sessions. It just becomes easier that way. Then we can look after everyone. All of our clients at the moment are women. We've got one woman about to have her baby, and her husband's going to come to the sessions while she's out for 6 weeks, which is really exciting. And when I first started the business, it was for men and women, but it just has skewed to women so far. Revenue, they sign up for term by term. So they'll come for, at the moment, term 4 starts at the start of October. It's an 11-week term. It's $395 for the term. That includes GST. The rates when I started the business started way too low. And so I'm building, and we're at the point now where we do charge GST. So that includes GST. And yeah, and it's just, we haven't had a lot of really difficult competitors in the area. So we'll offer our clients a discount to kind of stay on for the next term. School holidays are slightly quieter as well. So we know like when our down periods are. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. James, over to you. Any questions?
I'll squeeze in a quick one. Hey, Victoria, are you thinking of building this as like a brand yourself and running it and growing it, or are you thinking of doing this like a franchise, where people would come in and like take a franchise for a suburb or an area or region, and hence your capital light and quite good in terms of income and profit?
My mind's in two places, and it kind of goes from place to place. And that's one of the other things, you know, short term, I would love to. I don't have a business mind. It is business mind now, 2 years in, but I would love to meet someone that would be able to help me work on that kind of thing. I love my business. I'm so passionate about it, but the business part and the growth and where we can go next, like I have so many ideas, but I just struggle with where to go with it.
So you're normal, you know. Welcome to the world of reality. That's how it is. You can't be everything, otherwise you'd be like, well, you know, the future. But yeah, that's normal.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Victoria. I love the name, by the way. Babyfitter is just rolls off the tongue brilliantly.
Thank you
so much. All right. Our next picture is Mohamad Chaaban. I hope I said your name correctly. If I didn't, please correct me. And his startup is Ignite. So whenever you are ready, we are ready.
So hi everyone, my name is Mohamad and I'm the founder of Ignite, the first practice management software that will allow us to extend therapy outside clinic using data. So back in 2013, when the NDS was created, it also introduced a new therapy model to Australia, goal-oriented therapy. Now, the good news that this model is well known in the US and specifically with behavioral therapists. The bad news is that 10 years passed now, and then we're still unable to put our hands on a technology that can track performance and communicate that progress with parents and schools. And it's a bit ironic because kids spend most of the time either at school or with parents. And if those schools, they don't know what's happening in the clinic, this is exactly what it's exclusion. Like, you know, for the therapy to be more efficient, we need to involve anyone around the kid in the therapy. But we came to a problem that a lot of parents, English is not the first language in Australia, and we had to find a way to communicate that complex information with parents. And that's why we came with a new method to explain medical information, which is visual. Anyone understands visuals, either you speak English or Arabic or French or any language. You can understand charts, you can understand progress reports. And language is not the only barrier to understand language, but it's also during negotiation with a reassessment during subjectivity. So it's a software that communicates that information, but it also communicates the 1.5 billion left on the table last year by parents not being able to use these funds. Thank you.
Yay, thank you, Mohamad. This time we're going to hand it over to James to start the question time.
Yay. Hey, thank you, Mohamad. Mate, when you say the funds, I may have missed it because this is the trouble when you're trying to pitch and you're trying to listen. Are you talking about NDIS funds?
Yes, correct.
Ah, okay. So there's all this money that's been allocated for certain things like this, and people aren't able to, well, they're not accessing it. There's something in place that they can use it that they could then use properly or get benefit from.
Yes. So what we are targeting now, we are targeting so only the therapy, which is 4 billion out of the 38 billion. So $4 billion the government allocated in 2021 to people for therapy. And parents, they use only 2.5 billion, leaving 1.5 billion. And this is not only lost opportunity for the parents, but for the clinician too. And so and you need to understand, I have a kid with disability. He was diagnosed with dyspraxia last year, and he's behind Ignite. I mean, he's the inspiration for this one. By the end of the day, you're already tired. You don't want to do 6, 7 clicks, 8 clicks to access that information. You need something, you need more accessibility, that information in front of you.
I understand that. Perfect. And so you need money to build the platform, or have you built the platform already?
So we're raising money now, 250,000 for 10% to build the MVP, because we investigate a lot of technology low code, no code, but they're not HIPAA compliant. They're not GDPR compliant. We also try to use Xano as a back end with mobile front end. It doesn't work. So what we are doing now is building a clickable prototype because that's the cheapest that we can afford. And then we're going to start going to the clinics and then getting more feedback for better, cheaper iteration than engineering iteration.
Perfect. Understand. I'll hand it over to Nina or David. Oh, David looks like he's on.
Oh, I just didn't mute myself. That's why I'm still unmuted. Cool. I get it. When you say we have to build a clickable prototype. Who is we? Mohamad plus?
A full-time designer. I recruit him, and he's someone who worked with B2B. And for me, it was very important because I've worked with a lot of implementation, SAP and Oracle, and B2B is different from B2C. There is more cognitive load there in the design. So I try to find someone who understands B2B and cognitive load, mental models. So he's the guy who's building now the prototype.
Cool. And you say you work with SAP. What is your expertise?
So my expertise in performance management. My degree is in accounting, but I moved to system implementations because that's my passion. I like to work with. So I had a few projects in SAP. We implemented also Oracle, and my last role was before I co-founded the clinic with my wife. She's a speech therapist. Was head of committee for Microsoft Dynamics implementation.
Oh, awesome. Great credentials. I hand over to Nina.
Hey, Mohamad, it's really good to see you again. So my question is around your go-to-market strategy, and also just more specifically, who are your paying customers?
Okay, so we have 500,000 participants who are receiving therapy. So around 480,000. But instead of targeting that 480, it's gonna spend a lot of money for marketing, a lot of time. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the providers. There are around 47,000. So with every clinician we land, we are onboarding 11 to 12 participants, which are the payee. So they will pay. So we're gonna give the software for free for the provider, and then charge $4 every month for every report we generate and it will be automatic. We generate, and this is the government will pay for this because it's under assistive technology, which is usually around 1,000 to 2,000 each plan for each participant.
Yeah. So in your pitch, you said that, the problem was being faced by, say, for example, like parents who aren't fully utilizing these services. However, your paying customer isn't the parents, it's the service providers, right? And so essentially you're developing a solution that where the problem doesn't lie within who is actually paying for the product. So could you walk me through, I guess, the rationale behind that?
So Airbnb and Uber Eats, they went viral because they made everyone involved in the transaction a winner. So the payee is a winner, the payer is a winner, and the beneficiary is a winner. We are doing the same in Ignite. So we are charging the $4 a month for the participant, but the government is paying. And the clinician, he's the vehicle will take the software to the market. That's why we're giving him the software for free, so we can minimize that resistance to change.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mohamad.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mohamad. Thank you to all the judges. So next we have our very last pitch for this evening. So please welcome to your pitching stage, Kris Kumar with his startup CareAllianz. Kris, whenever you're ready.
Yep. Thank you so much, Anna. Thanks a lot for David and everyone for participating. Right. So my name is Kris, and my company is called CareAllianz. We are actually building an ecosystem to help patients and hospitals and pretty much book care workers on demand, right? While they're collaborating to provide data-driven patient care. through a automated, transparent, intelligent marketplace, right? So that's what we're doing. So what I want everyone to imagine a world where now I've got my old parents, they're back home in India, I'm actually over here, right? I want to imagine a world where you're able to access their data, right? We will know their health status. Wherever you are, you can still look at them, make sure that they're okay. You can actually book care for them, right? So I can sit here. I've got my prototype. I can actually sit here, and I can book my caretaker and all those services for my parent, for my dad who's kind of in and out of hospital, right? So I get alerts as well to see what's going on. So that's so that's one of our platforms which we have built. We are competing in the growing market of home care, which is around $2 billion AUD in Australia, around $3 billion in India. And we are kind of similar to Mabel and Portia, but our main differentiator is we have a complete ecosystem. When I talk about an ecosystem, we got doctors on the platform, we got hospitals on the platform, and then we also have home care services. Right? If you think about the patient journey, he actually goes to the local GP, then the GP actually refers to the hospital, then the hospital actually says, okay, fine, after post-operative, you need X amount of services, you need home care services. We connect all of this. Currently, we are operational in India. We are generating around 200,000 of AUD right now. 2,000 K jobs have been completed. We got a strong tech team, who's my CTO, who's from Google and PayPal. And we are seeking around 500,000 AUD for 10% equity at $5 million valuation to help scale in India and also start operations in Australia. That's our goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kris. Over to the judges. Maybe we'll start with Nina this time.
Thank you, Kris. That was really well pitched. I have a question about when I think about needing a healthcare provider or like a doctor or a nurse, right? Like typically the situations that come up to me are emergency type situations. So can you walk me through, I guess, how would your platform or marketplace, would it serve people who are in emergency type situations in a sense, like replacing ambulances, or is it more so like serve like the demand for healthcare workers for a non-emergency service?
It could actually potentially be both, right? But primary market is people who are actually aged care, right? That's people who are old, who are at home. They can use our mobile app and they can actually book a nurse, or they can book a caretaker, or they can book a physio. And again, in Australia, model is pretty much government funded, right? So we tap into the government funds of home care packages and everybody. So we are kind of a platform there. And in India, it's all self-funded in the sense the patient actually pays for all those services. But in case of an emergency as well, right? In case of an emergency, you can still book a nurse who's actually close by. All these nurses, we have around 500 nurses on our platform right now in India. They're all contractors or gig workers, and you can actually book them on demand, right? So that's how it happens. And everything happens on the app. Payment also happens on the app. The most important thing which we provide, which no one else provides, is instant payment for our care workers. As soon as we get the money gets split. We keep our platform fee and we pay the nurses, right? That's been a really good strategy for retaining 500 plus nurses on our platform.
Yeah, awesome, cool, good to know.
James, David?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Hey, Kris. So, question about, I guess the age-old problem of this is if you're having people providing that service, I guess you take the responsibility to vet them, that is to check them out, to make sure they're okay, they're qualified. And also you take the hit if that is not the case, if someone sues you in the case of, well, for somehow someone slipped through the system.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, but like, they're the nanny killer or the person who goes around putting syringes into people, that's also on you, right? Is there any way of avoiding that situation?
On a legal perspective, what we have done is we have clearly stated in the terms and conditions that, we're just a platform, we are connecting those two people. But having said that, we did have an incident in India, right, with one of the caretaker workers. So the way we operate is we partner with other agencies. We are just a platform provider, but we have another agencies who actually provide these services to the end user, right? And what happened in that instance is, yes, incidents do happen, but the agency which we partnered with, they actually went and recovered the stolen goods or whatever it is was missing from the patient thing, and we resolved this. So there is no kind of a clear-cut method to circumvent. But having said that, the terms and conditions are very clear that we are just a platform provider. we do take all the documentations in terms of your IDs and etc. We do a mandatory check. Police verification is done for each and everything, for each and every candidate who gets onto the platform.
Understand. I'll hand you over to David, but it sounds like you rate a great start. And when you're coming to Australia, like when you're hoping to open up in Australia?
I've got my company registered already here. I'm just looking for funds at the moment, right? So the platform is up and running. It's really doing well in India, and it's a lift and shift anyways, but we have to still do some tweaks. But yeah, that's where I am, just to raise funds and start expanding.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Good seeing you again, Kris.
Thanks for having me, David.
This time, last time you pitched from India, didn't you?
No, I pitched from Sydney itself, but at that point of time, I think the product was not there, right? We were not there, but now we are there, right? Now we are there. We are ready to raise some funds.
Cool. Regarding the platform, I guess there are sort of different requirements regarding the security check of caretakers in different countries. You're focusing on India and Australia now to get started.
Yep.
Is the onboarding process automated?
Yes, the system is completely automated, right? But in Australia, there would be all these documentations which they have to submit, and onboarding is pretty much automated. But there is one more step where manually we just double check, triple check, because we are a startup, right? We still have a resource who actually looks at all the documentation, checks everything, and then approves a profile. So we don't let the approval process is still, we vet it, right? Onboarding is automated.
Cool. Did we talk about your pricing model?
No, but happy to talk about the pricing model. I mean, the go-to-market strategy is we have the doctors who get the app for free, right? They don't have to pay anything because the data is very valuable for us as opposed to the doctors, and they are the first point of contact for the patient. The hospitals, they actually pay as a platform fee for getting all the data from the doctors to the hospital, right? In terms of patient referrals. So that piece is completely automated. They pay a platform fee. And when the post-operative care happens and they're actually getting discharged, we have the home care part and they pay for the services, right? So generally our margin is around 25 to 35%. 20 to 30% is our margin per service, which we share everything with the nurses and caretakers, and we keep our cut.
Cool. That shall be it. Thank you, Kris.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kris. And thank you to all the brave souls who have pitched. Please, let's give them a hand. Woo-hoo. All right. Now, I have a call out. Is there anybody out there who has a desire to pitch? Anybody who can jump on in and do an impromptu pitch? This is a platform for you guys to be brave and to practice. Anyone? Anyone going once? Anyone going twice? Anyone? Yeah, Deepak. Are you going to pitch for us?
Hey, hi everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Hi, we can see you. I'm going to give you 90 seconds. I'm going to spotlight you and let you know the moment that you start talking, we will start the timer. Congratulations. You have to introduce yourself and your startup. You ready?
Yes.
All yours.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Deepak. I'm based out of India, and I've been working in the IT industry for last 16 years. I worked in the IT for 15 years and then started my own company now. And we do the IT services, IT research services. This includes gathering the data from the internet, then doing the web scraping. We also do the data mining services. Additionally, we also do the SEO services. So I've been working on computers for 30 years, and Google is one of my key skills, Google queries. And I have been also working on the recruitment, talent sourcing services, which is right now is one of the crucial in the cybersecurity. And I also do the freelancing services from here. And we have a team of 15 people under me who works as a freelancer under me. And we do a small and a mid-size projects. And we are also looking for the big size projects where we can cater the big company. Now, in 15 years, I worked mostly in the oil and gas industry. So I worked for the Chevron, which is a US company, and Phillips 66. So my career was all about development as a software development, and I resigned as a project manager. So I have a skills from all the aspects in the IT field. I have worked with the clients from more than 30 countries. So one of the project I completed for the Chevron, I was a consultant as a technical support for 30 plus countries. And so I have a great skills that I'm happy to take a lot of work. I'm not looking for funding. I'm looking for the real work right now.
Thanks, Deepak. Yay, well done. Judges, do you have any questions for Deepak? It's a bit of shameless promotion.
It is not quite a startup, but it's a great service for startups. Deepak, good seeing you again.
Bye.
All right, thank you so much. So what we're going to do now is we are going to have a little bit of time in breakout rooms for a bit of networking. Our judges need a bit of time to have a conversation. They need to work out, who's our winners and who are our runners up, because everybody who has pitched is already a winner. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into breakout rooms. David, I was wondering, can we possibly have one breakout room for us and then 3 breakout rooms for our participants? Is that okay? Hello, welcome back, everybody. I trust you guys got to know each other a little bit better, building a bit more of a community and building connections. Did anybody solve any of their problems? Anybody? Get some help, some support? Oh, great, Tony. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It's really, really important. Please do connect with each other. We have a beautiful community within this country of ours, as well as Singapore. And got some people who, I think everybody else currently is from Australia, but it's really important to grow, build, and support each other. So now we have come to that really cool time of the evening where we get to learn who the winners are. Now, please understand that the winners have been chosen based on how the judges can best support them. So it's not necessarily for the best pitch, but for the best opportunity for support. So first of all, I'm going to hand it over to Nina. Nina's going to share who she is able to support and how she's going to support them.
Thank you so much, Anna. So the winner of the Antler prize, I'm really happy to announce, is Victoria. So Victoria, I really, really loved your pitch, and I also love the traction that you've gained so far in your business. I think that there's so much that the team at Antler can do as well in terms of offering a 30-minute office hour session, but also we've got a really strong community around women of Antler, which I'm really, really happy to connect you with, because these problems are genuinely like important problems to solve, and I think that you've got a really, really great mindset in trying to solve them as well.
Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you.
Yay, Victoria. Woo!
Thank you.
Please give her a hand, and thank you so much, Nina, for that very, very generous contribution to the community. I'm sure Victoria will get lots and lots out of it. All right, so next we're going to ask James. James, please let us know who you have chosen.
Yeah, look, before I jump into that, again, just to reinforce this in case it doesn't come across, I know we said 2 or 3 times during the event, but we give out prizes based on who we think we can help, not who we thought was best. Everyone pitched really well. I mean, everyone pitched really well today. So kudos to you all, Mohamad, Denham, Tony, Victoria, Mohamad, and Kris. I just think at the place where you are, Kris, I can help you more than I can probably help the other people. And so I'd be giving my prize to Kris from CareAllianz.
Yeah, great. What is your prize, James? Now you're on mute.
My prize is a tuition to learn how to use the mute button on a conference. No, actually, Kris, you'll be in contact and we'll decide what you need out of those 4 things I do. You know, deck, checking on things like how to set up ready for the investors, prepping for that, and also looking at the documentation and also cap tables and things like that. But it'll be just a let's play it by ear and play it as it comes sort of situation.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, James. Really appreciate it.
Yay, well done, Kris, and thank you, James. Give him a hand. Woo. All right, and last but not least, I'm going to hand it over to David. David, please share with us.
Thank you, Anna. Now, I'm a big fan of the product, and I think it's have great potential. Tony, Farmers Hub, I would love to work with you and help you whatever you need help with right now in your journey, and also invite you to have your pitch deck nailed, so you increase your chances to actually get that money that you're looking for.
Hey, woo! All right,
Thanks, David. That'd be really helpful, and I'm really excited to work with you.
So am I.
Yeah, that sounds.
And David,
cool.
You also had another little participation prize, I guess.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's more than participation prize. Publication ideas prize, and I just want to use that as an opportunity to point out that repetition coming back is paying off. And yeah, Mohamad Haider, 3 times in a row. I would like to publish your idea on Ideas Spice. Looking forward to get you a little bit more traction and maybe some early adapters onto your platform.
Yay! Amazing. Well
All
done.
right, are you still around? Oh, yeah,
nah. No, but let's get in touch with him anyway. All right, so just to finish up, David would like me, or he probably would like to remind you himself, that there is the next pitch event on. When is that, David?
That's on the 5th of October. And I just got made aware by the team that I did not do my job. It's not live yet. So come back onto the website, siliconbeach.org.au tomorrow or in an hour, and I will have it live up there, and you can register or send the link to your friends and you can register them.
And we'll be sending out an email to you guys as well so that you can register. Please do come back. Please do continue to support. And if you have been thinking about pitching, please take the opportunity to pitch. It is an amazing opportunity to learn how to communicate your value. Every single time that you get an opportunity to pitch, it helps you to learn to communicate your value. So there's links in the chat there. Please connect with me. Please connect with each other. Thank you guys so very, very much. And we will see you next time. Thank you for joining. You've all been amazing. And thank you again to the judges and to David for really making all of this happen, and to Silicon Beach.
Thank
See
you.
you guys.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Anna.